And so does George Vollman, the Automotive Insider, with us this morning from Vollman Ford. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Michael Patrick.
A couple of car guys here, in fact. Dr. Keith Priddy from Northwood University, where they put out some people who designed some of the hottest cars going. Nice to see you here in the front studio.
Nice to see you, Michael Patrick.
That James Bond music was playing because apparently his Aston Martin from Goldfinger is going to be auctioned off. You don't want to drive that, do you?
I wouldn't fit in it, actually.
Everybody wants to drive it, and it was from Thunderball and Goldfinger. And let's see, what do you think that's going to go for today in London when it's auctioned?
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
1964 Aston Martin with the bulletproof shield, the revolving license plates, oil slick sprayer, and machine guns. $12 million probably is expected.
Wow.
For that.
There you go.
Anybody would look good in that, wouldn't
Yes.
they? That'd be swell. Can we kick around some automotive news
We'd
to
love
both of
to.
you today?
Absolutely.
Interesting. Ford Fusion is the most reliable family sedan sold in America, according to Consumer Reports.
Doesn't surprise me
Why?
because we never see them come back for warranty claims.
That's
Period.
good. That makes sense.
I mean, and you know, that's how we judge it. And everyone says, well, that's a loss in profitability in your service department. I'd rather have that loss and the customer not be inconvenienced because they tell everybody what a reliable car is and they come buy more.
That's
how that works.
And I can confirm what George is saying because my wife drives one. She
no
loves
kidding.
that vehicle. She
Is that right?
absolutely loves it.
It's a family workhorse, huh?
It's unbelievable. It's the bulletproof car of Ford's family right now.
Ford is going to create 1,200 full-time jobs in Michigan as at several of their facilities in 2013. Ford is expanding.
Expanding and bringing some products that were overseas back here,
Yeah.
Transit Connect, things of those natures. And quite frankly, they have to increase their capacity because we're out of cars. We're buying cars all over the place, and it's not just from Ford Motor Company, just to get the lot full.
Dr. Priddy, that's about the best news you can hear, right?
Well, it's great to see the car company that didn't take the bankruptcy option and hasn't taken funding from the government to really move forward and succeed. And they're doing it with great quality. They're doing it with great products. And it's particularly nice to see them expanding right here in Michigan.
It's an outrageous success story, isn't it?
It really is. It's an amazing success story, given where Ford was with the rest of the industry and how quickly they moved to position themselves to handle the downturn, and then the amazing turnaround, if you will, during the downturn. They really deserve great credit for what they've done.
Was that a huge gamble?
Oh, you'd have to call it a huge gamble. I mean, they mortgaged everything, including the logo of the company. I mean, they went way out on a limb in order to position themselves for the future, and they had great confidence they could do it, and it's paying off.
The big bet paid off. That's very, very exciting. Now we're hearing that the Big Three is going to have some pretty good sales figures coming up. A lot of them are fleet sales, though, so they don't like to tout it too much. What does that mean, George?
Well, there's two lines of distribution into the marketplace in America. You've got the retail line, which is what I am, a retail dealer, and then you have a fleet line. And even though those cars actually touch a dealer's books, they end up going through what we call a fleet distribution. And the problem with fleet distribution is oftentimes they're strung out with buyback guarantees with the rental companies and things of that nature, which then actually can hurt if it's done incorrectly the resale value of the car, which, because we're in a trading business, is absolutely critical because it's not what you pay today, it's what you pay minus your trade equals your true cost. With that being said, the more fleet you do, the more apt you are to hurt your resale value. Now, Ford has dialed way back, and that's the reason why we're having to source cars all over the United States for used, because we have to go to where the supply is, and it's drying up. General Motors and, to a greater extent, Chrysler have not dialed it back as much, and I think it's going to hurt them in the long run.
Ford stock up 35% since the beginning of the year.
Unbelievable.
Would you sit here 1 year from now and say that the GM stock that's going to be in the IPO next month could be up 35% by the end of the year? Dr. Priddy?
That's a hard call.
Yeah.
It really, at this point, it's very hard to say. With sales volumes where they are, it's hard to see them leaping that far that fast. But clearly they've got some great products too, and they're making some adjustments that I think are going to be very positive for them. Whether they'll see that kind of a bounce in the stock market, I couldn't guarantee.
You are celebrating a grand opening of a Grand Rapids campus?
Brand new center in Grand Rapids. We've been in Grand Rapids for the last 10 years, but we've moved our center right downtown, right on the Michigan Avenue Medical Mile, if you will, corner of Michigan and College at 515 Michigan. And it's a beautiful new center that we opened this afternoon. And maybe more importantly than that, in January, we will offer our first class of the Richard DeVos Graduate School of Management, our MBA program that to date is offered in Detroit and here in Lansing, and of course on our campus in Midland, in addition to our campuses in Texas and Florida and our campus over in Switzerland. But we're now bringing it to Grand Rapids and very excited to do so.
50 years of producing leaders in all those places, but Northwood is the hub. Grand Rapids, what sort of people come to school in the Grand Rapids campus?
Oh, our Grand Rapids campus has a great school population. We've always recruited very strongly in West Michigan. We have a number of business leaders in the Grand Rapids area. The DeVos family are great examples of that. Dan DeVos, who runs DP Fox, Dick DeVos, the former gubernatorial candidate who runs the WinQuest Group. There are numerous other leaders that have been our graduates, have come to Northwood and have become entrepreneurs and become very successful.
Are you seeing older people come back to school?
Well, many of the students that we'll have in our Grand Rapids Center will be adult learners. They'll be, they'll be full-time employed individuals with families. They're great students because they're focused. They know what they want.
What do you say, George? Let's go back to school.
Why not?
Wouldn't it be great to turn back the clock?
Fun. Absolutely.
George Vollman and Dr. Keith Priddy, thank you very much for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Michael Patrick.
Michael Patrick Shields, TV viewers. See you tomorrow. Radio listeners, stay right where you are.